visit to Beacon Pines. This is the 6th video that I've recorded, and very luckily in the playthrough, just based on my choices, which I didn't look up any information about the game, but just with what I've chosen, we've managed to look at every single branch of the story that was available. So we have just one, as far as I know, maybe just one option left, although perhaps that's not true, because thinking back, we did acquire a few more charms in our last video, so maybe there will be a few more branches, but this may well be our last visit. So I hope you had a good weekend. It was a very wet and blustery Halloween weekend where I am, and the clocks have gone back, so it's made for darker evenings. So I'm feeling a little under the weather today, but I have a very warm cat sleeping next to me and I'm bundled up, so that's a good place to start. Let's get on with things, shall we? So I'm trying to remember what had happened. Okay, yes, so Luca and oh gosh, what was his name? I'm so sorry, my memory is terrible. But they had discovered the sort of twin version, if you like, the original version of Beacon Pines that was all covered in snow, and they met a mysterious figure called Nat. So a fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes. Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world. With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow, every step taking him further away from everything and everyone he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines to Pine Harder. Revenge served cold, second time's a charm. Wait, that's it. This ends with a crummy cliffhanger, just when it was getting good. I was even starting to like Iggy, that's it. Iggy, how could I forget? What a great name. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive. So, this is what I expected would happen. So if we look at the previous branches, there are little ticks next to the various charms, which shows we have tried them all. And so the one that we haven't tried was just after Luca had gone to Beck's house for dinner, and the storm began to start, and I selected that the sky began to rumble. But our only option now is to select that the sky began to break. Beck called to Luca before he made his way past the gate. Wait up, I'll walk you home. Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rolo could be prickly around new people, but Beck seemed cool. Rolo would warm up to her eventually. Probably. Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began too. There are options. So we will select break. The clouds above began to break. Revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops. promised Rolo I'd tell him about. Lucas stopped himself mid-sentence. Promised you'd tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you've got to tell me. Okay, you can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah. Does Beck know where the treehouse is? She's gone on ahead. Lucas saw Beck skulking by the gate. So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich reclusive owners. It even smells shady. Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate. Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. The door obeyed. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. That's Heiress Valentine. Who's that she's talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavoury alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about. Beck's voice was an excited whisper. Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously. Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that Rube Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady, but that's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this? The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners. Family. We recognise that face. A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand. An answer I can certainly respect. Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask. Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion. Gran gave Heiress a curt nod and disappeared into the night. Chapter 5. What big ears you have. Luca sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater. What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. That was your gran. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there is a perfectly reasonable explanation for all this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. So, we better get going so we can meet up with Rolo at the treehouse. What a bombshell. What are these little bright pink things? I was going to go and explore up there, but I think we need to go and see Rolo, don't we? For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course we're not worried. The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up. Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's. Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh. If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you just sign here, acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of... He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped. There. And would you like my eternal soul as well? The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away. Oh no, I don't really want to come across Mr. Nuncreed, but unfortunately it looks like we'll have to. Can we talk to him? Maybe we should. Let's see what he has to say. Hi, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give him a good hard bop right in the kisser. Oh, Grant tells me to just keep away from the clipboards. That's good. Your Gran is a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, you'd better run along home now. Too dark out to be wandering on your own. Yeah, there might be creeps like you out and about. I like this music. It's like the previous music, but a remixed version. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth? Yes, good question. Another day, another $1. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the perennial harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. Oh, I can't wait. It's the Mayor and Mr. Kerr. William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner. It's all coming together quite nicely. I couldn't have done it without you. The Mayor gave a half-hearted shrug. I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yes, she has been indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever gotta be 100 down on their luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds. Yep, little bundles of potential. With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly towards the horizon. You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. You see potential here. Undoubtedly, the seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge. And the right leadership, of course. Oh, good night, Mayor Valentine. Oh, let me speak to the mayor. No. Right, Old Pickler's Pond it is then. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So what's your buddy Rolo like? Rolo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the fowl harvest. It's about damn time you tell me what this fowl harvest thing is. It's kinda a long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Oh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why. Nope. I take it Rolo's farm got the short end of the stick. Yep, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn Initiative. Yep. First thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels, one town over for a week, while they decontaminated the groundwater. We'd better get going. Oh, it's the memory again. It's the memory of Luca and his dad. small magnet to the line. Oh, I genuinely have forgotten which charm this was. Fishing with the law of attraction. Very cool. Come on then, Luca, what are we going to get? What's that? Where do you think the lock is for this key? Now, why would we want to find that? Because then we would know the secret. That's no fun. The second we know what it unlocks, it just becomes a boring old key. Right now, this key could unlock anything. Cool. It's just got unlimited potential. So that was pull, and it was a magnet. Magnetic pull. Let's try cling. Luca wrapped some tape around the hook. Hey, you never know. Special waterproof tape, maybe. Give it a good cast now. We don't want our line to snap. Come on then, Luca. What's that? I can't make it out. It's got a bunch of big words written on it. Let's see that. We regret to inform you that your application for property rights with respect to the Speak Combines CBD and surrounding area CBD has been rejected. Who is that for? Applicant Valentine Estate. Good. Interesting. Now what else is in our tackle box? Smack. Luca stuck a toy stretchy hand to the hook. Those things always get dirty anyway. They really do. What could this get us? What's this? Should we give it to Mum? She likes jewellery. That's a sweet thought, Buckaroo. But I'm not sure she'd fully appreciate a pond bracelet. You never know. Thoughtful of Luca to suggest it at least. So we've got a bracelet. So now, struggle. Luca placed a sinker on the line. Sometimes the best stuff is at the bottom of the pond. Oh, this is a tough one. A bottle. Malice 80 proof whiskey. A hard liquor for a hard man. Best leave that be. Takes a real piece of work to leave something like that lying around. And now our final one. Pungent. A little bit worried about what this is going to get us. Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Oh, well, that's pungent in a nice way. Some fish have a refined taste. Sort of pre-seasoning your fish there a little bit. I also like that he says some fish have refined taste, as if we've caught anything living this whole time. Will we catch an actual fish? No. Looks like money. Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. The man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Interesting. I guess we can't. Ah, okay, that sent us back. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Well, that was cool. We've tried all the different charms that we could for fishing, and now we've met up with Rollo. Rollo, it's about time. Oops, sorry if there was a break there. The postman just knocked on my door, and then when I went to answer the door, in that time, my cat has moved. Has taken up more space. More space next to me, so to squeeze in next to her. Very cheeky. Okay, they found Rollo. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rollo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to mission control. Rollo waggled his head with pride. You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. What's he doing? I'm gonna have some tea while we're waiting. I'll get a bit of WD-40 on that, Rollo. Wow. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. What is it? What do we do? Oh. Do we have to kick something again? I can't get the angle right on these. Okay. And then now, will I get it right? Nope, not close enough. Oh no, there's another one. He really has gone all out. Oh no. Oh no, it's moving. I think I'm going to be very bad at this. Oh, we did it. A very good clown honk at the end there. Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. Was Jeff the guy who had the very amusing voice? I think it was. So, pretty sweet security, right? Sorry, excuse me. It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Oh, okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse. Luca sucked in a long breath. So, like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters. I don't think so, it seemed more organised. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. Then it could That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit. Rolo let out a low whistle. I can't really whistle, so I won't do that. And they weren't there for the chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meet-up. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit, and then you saw your Gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine. Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kind of awesome. Rolo and Lucas shot Beck a look. No offence. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town, and their leader is your Gran, and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Your Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know, we haven't talked much since she moved in. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here. No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mum went missing. Did you know your Gran before? Not really, no. It'd been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way. But are we sure your Gran is on the up and up? Luca gazed out the window. I'm just saying, it sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Look, your Gran is hiding something. And Pa always says folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house. I mean, folks bury bodies and they're not really worth digging up. I don't know. If my Gran really is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear, and we can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in. Chapter 6. Secret Lair. Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day. What time is it? All right. That banging makes me jump. I'm not sure how loud you can hear it, but it's quite loud. Rolo, what on earth is that? Oh, Rolo. That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this. It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joe call you you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear. Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot. Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rolo strutted across the room. If I were a gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it. Rolo flung open the cabinet with confidence. Aha! He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face. I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are the suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rolo. Drat, it may already be too late. Just think of the amount of documents lost to ash. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah, the closet upstairs. So, maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice, it's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. And I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I am going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch. A look of realisation crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen. All right, Rolo, this is your time to shine. Ah, yes, you've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with... Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rolo's back. Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it? The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss. But the only distinct feature was its impeccability. Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah, I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let me just yank on this random teacup, and as Beck pulled on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power. Seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret lairs. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe. Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. Let's look around then. Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labelled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it. What you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor. Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb. Well, are you going to read it? Here, let me help. Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text. How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents like this, such as this, are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of the preeminent scholar in dense documents and cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed. He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle. Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph. Rollo looked up with heightened surprise. See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait. Rollo's finger traced across the page. There's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental. Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else. Rollo scanned through several more pages. Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terence's condition follows close behind, exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands. Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly. What does it say next? Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages. That's where it ends. What? There has to be more. Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labelled Walter. Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean? Enough is enough. How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit. Luca slammed the drawer shut. A spiderweb of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes. Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? 'Cause I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town, out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mum's are both on here, both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Eris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution, explosive, and jam jars. That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? We've got an incendiary jar. She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs, right? Only one way to find out. Rolo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam. Huckleberries. He smacked his lips. A hint of brown sugar and ink. What? Rolo plunged his hand into the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper. Aha! Rolo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean. It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A grand jamgram. It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. So, more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let that slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines. Cool, this looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rolo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to the town. And if we follow it... Rolo carefully traced the path with his finger. It leads right to... He jabbed down at the end point. Town Square. That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rolo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on that map has the same symbol as those explosives over here. So it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer. Rolo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Oh. Did you just say gulp? The one time I didn't say gulp out loud, I didn't say it out loud. Gulp. This feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the centre of town. She's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. What was that? Luca looked up from the map. What was that? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. I'm terribly sorry I got distracted because there are long-tailed tits outside my window. to look at, and they make a very sweet noise. I can hear them chirping away. Very sweet. Okay. I heard it too, which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights. Beck flicked off the light and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing they'd been holding their breath, all three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence. Hello? A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs. Anyone down there? The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump! Yoo-hoo! Thump! I'm not here to hurt anyone. Thump! I'm just here to help. Thump! Just thump! At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life. Huh? Guess it's nothing. Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth. Rollo, don't. It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He's a loose cannon, that Rollo, he screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure. Flaming chicken coop! With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground. Rollo? Mysterious, creepy man. Anyone there? From the dark corner, they saw something move. Oh, I didn't know if I had it in me. But there was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person? Lucas scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground, pressing his fingers to the man's neck. He sighed with relief. You sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold. Beck flicked back on the light. Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo. Mr. Tolliver. Chapter 7. The interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's Tolliver's house. After some deliberation, it was decided they'd run the classic good cop, chill cop or hard cop, good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this, read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl. Well, 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 Mr. Tolliver. Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice. Mr. Tolliver. Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table. I said, Mr. Tolliver! He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint. What in the world? The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up. Oh, sir. Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate. I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on, let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating. The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe. We can do this my way, or... well, let's just say I've never needed another way. Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again. Now dance! What? I don't even... Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears. You tie me down, how on earth can I dance? Dance with you in my mouth. Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper, to make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran. Gran? Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever. Can I help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good Lord! He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy. No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where... His voice faded to a whisper. The town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Spark Plug? With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace. Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began. We need more information. Yeah, but we'd better not push Mr. Tolliver any farther. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. No, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library? If there's any source about this, if there's any information, about this source thing, Cato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. this is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Oh, Kato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Miss Novak sometimes. They got you working for free. It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favour. I already told you in Rolo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Ankatomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know, I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What do you got in the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there. Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map, with a symbol of explosives in the town square, made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth. If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of these asinine death records. Rolo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life until he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears. Rolo shut his book with an assertive nod. If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself. Rolo muttered under his breath. You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like... Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read. J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and... Something tickled at the back of Luca's mind. Wait, what was the name, Beck? In the obit, J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my Gran's name, Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords. Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mum's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your Gran is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with? The question hung in the air. Alright gang, I gotta close up for the night. Beck rubbed her eyes. How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, festival tomorrow. What are you going to do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something. Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course there was Mr. Tolliver, tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Lucas shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off. We've got to check on him in the basement. Let's go. He'd be quite lucky that she hadn't gone in the kitchen and seen that the secret room was open. He's gone. Oh no. Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen. Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings and left without a trace. Or maybe Gran knew everything. What do I do? Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realising it, he'd gone the entire day without eating. Okay, I can figure this out. I just need a little brain food. Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one and shovelled a handful into his mouth. I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed. He flipped the lid to read the label. Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Right, we've got to go to sleep. Let's hope we don't wake up Gran. Oh, she's gone, Gran. Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool. As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong. Come on, legs. Just a few more steps. Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep. The drum. Well, it did get him to sleep, just maybe not the way he planned. Sweet boy, what did you get yourself into? Rest now and let me handle everything. Chapter 9. Well, we're really making progress through the chapters, aren't we, this time? A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Lucas snapped back to the matter at hand. fire. Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa. Sly devil. Oh, we've got a sly charm. I like that little creepy step. Sneaky step. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. And Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving. Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow. Is this thing... Oh, hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Oh, yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognise someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. Sparse applause there. He's my favourite guy. Even that's more than the old codger deserved. Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie. Right, where was I? William Kerr bounded on stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent festival. At a big tent revival. I really can't read today. Gus Valentine, everyone. He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage. Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Oh, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium. Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards from his vest. Didn't prepare, eh? Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, avoidable, and undeniable. And I am daggum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me into a small town which would change my life forever. Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd. You know what? He wiped away a single tear. From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special. He thumped the podium to emphasize each word. Community, conviction, commitment. Change. Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent in rapt attention. Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to me, nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost. which section of the crowd. The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other. His voice began to build to a crescendo. We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that? The crowd began to look around nervously. Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm. Mr. Kirk quickly flicked through his note cards. Where was I? Through all of my travels I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town, and so it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim. He raised his hands up to the heavens. Our harvest awaits. It's happened again. At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. Well, unfortunately, we've not quite wrapped things up in the way that I would have liked. So, the town has still been destroyed. We can't have our little heroes be frozen in time like this with the rest of them all. So we'll have to go back, I think, and find where we went wrong. But for the moment, we'll have to leave it there, and we'll have to continue on in another video. I really did think we'd get to the bottom of things today, but apparently not. So, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed seeing those additional branches of the story, even if we haven't reached quite the perfect ending. There's still a lot of questions. It's a very interesting mystery. And now that we know Gran is